Bye guys, thanks for the lift. Oh, sorry about that. The guys from the cafe gave me a lift in the boot. Nice guys. Only dropped me once. Anyway, we'll be looking at your reactions to The Lying Detective today. So if you've not seen episode 2 of season 4 of Sherlock, go watch it, then come back here for Sherlock Reacts. So, that was another 90-minute rollercoaster ride. Let's turn to the ominously named Sherlock Hell for a recap. Sherlock hugged John, John cried, Irene's text, Sherrinford's a woman, Miss Hudson is a badass, am I alive? Sherlock producer Sue Virtue dared to peep into the Twitter storm this week. I hope you enjoyed swearing, she said, picking up that as with last week, 1,000 or 2,000 of you found this all a little much to deal with. So, let's break it down. First off, yes, after 11 episodes of Sherlock's put-downs, making endless cups of tea and correcting people as to her role in the show, the lovely landlady of 221B turned badass. Her entrance at speed, on a phone and in an Aston Martin was heaped with praise by many of you. I mean, what else would she drive? She owns property in central London, don't you know? You also loved her subsequent reveal of Sherlock in the boot, or trunk for our American viewers, and how she got him in there.
Oh, get over yourself. You're not my first smackhead, Sherlock Holmes.
Both Celine and That Fiction Life summed up the thoughts of many as to Hudder's newfound gangster status, while spoof Photoshop legend Andrew Mark Thompson produced this amazing cover for a Mrs. Hudson annual. The campaign starts here. But it was her delicious dismissal of Mycroft that gave so many of you life.
Get out of my house, you reptile.
Nat said it best, England would fall without Mrs. Hudson. Hear, hear. But Kick-Ass Hudders wasn't the only character causing huge reactions. New big bad Culverton Smith, played by Toby Jones, was generating revulsion across the board. Anna was fascinated that a man so wealthy couldn't afford an orthodontist, whereas Dr. John Baggins Nygaard compared his iron control of people to the ruthless ruler of Panem. Katie was horrified at his beheading of a doll, and Divuk felt that he made last season's creepy memory-mad Magnuson seem alright. Even poor old Richard Wells, the show's on-screen graphic designer, had been taken in by Culverton's sinister charm. And all of this made his eventual downfall more delicious. But Julia G also sounded a note of sympathy for kinky old Culverton. Poor boy. But this week really was dedicated to the greatest love story never told. We saw the lengths that Sherlock would go to get his best friend back. Us mere mortals might take flowers or a box of chocolates. Sherlock, however, conjures up death and quite literally goes to hell. For a man at the tail end of a drug binge, Beardy Shirley, as Starman called him, certainly seemed to attract a lot of your attention. Sadly, it failed to attract John's attention until really quite late in the day. And when he did, a load of you reached for the caps lock key. Go, John, go! Redemption! Yes, John, finally! Sherlock and John, they're back together again, yay! And yes, it culminated in forgiveness and a hug that will stand for all the ages. Well, certainly on Tumblr. You screamed, you cried, all the feels happened at once, and it was beautiful. Then came the big reveal. John's therapist, Culverton's fake daughter, the woman on the bus from last week were all the same woman, and only a few of you saw it coming. The rest are as dumbstruck as us. Julie was bang on with her assessment, zoik Scoob, but reality was even worse than that. Sherrinford. The name we've been hearing for a while, the much speculated about third Holmes brother, who was definitely going to be played by Tom Hiddleston, turned out to be John's therapist, Culverton's fake daughter, and the woman on the bus from last week. Amelia captured a family-friendly version of the tone of the commentary around Sherrinford's reveal, and some of you just mashed the keyboard with your face. And that was that. One big cliffhanger. How will it be resolved next week? What's Sherrinford's link to the Miss Me message? And the most important question of all, posed by RSK85, will they decide if it's on or afoot? The status of the game is very distracting. And finally, Tweet of the Week goes to Kartiki Sharma for this meta burn. People always give up after the number 3. Explains why Sherlock has only 3 episodes a year. Ouch! Well, it's not a game anymore. Don't forget to tune into the last episode of Series 4, The Final Problem, and keep using the hashtag Sherlock Reacts for all of your thoughts and feels during the finale, and we might feature them here next week. In the meantime, don't forget to click here to subscribe to the official Sherlock YouTube channel so you can be the first to see new videos, and click here to watch the explosive trailer to episode 3. Right, I'm off to wander the streets of London, spelling out the words badass Mrs. Hudson. See you next week. Bye.